Hello everybody and welcome back to Imperator, where last episode we took a bunch of territory from these guys. They're not going to be very happy about it, but we did it, and now we've got a bunch of work to do. So these guys up here, these should be drilling. These guys, though, they're going to be building roads, and they're going to be at it for a while. So they're going to come out like this. I want to make sure that the road has connections there and then comes all the way around to here and connects in like this. Then we're going to need to make sure that we have a connection out over here like this. I always like to get a circle around any impassable terrain. You don't have to do this, I just like to. And we're going to come out over this direction then. I just find it gives a good base for figuring out where to put roads after that. So we're going to have a connection up over here like that, making sure that we connect up here, and then we're going to want to have some roading out over this way, right? A very similar sort of setup. Now, we're probably going to want to have some connection out here, but we'll come back to that in a little bit. So looking up over this way, we've already got this area all roaded up. This isn't our territory up here. So that seems reasonably fine. There's a crossing here and a crossing here. We should probably make absolutely certain that this crossing is roaded, so like that. And then both sides of this river, so we would do something like this and then come back over here like that. There we go. And then this would be a triangle structure, and we'd come back and then come out over this direction. And this would connect in right down over here like that. Then this road is pre-built, and then we would build along this coastline. Something along the lines of that. Then we come out over this direction, make sure that this is connected, which it is. A connection here would make a lot of sense to me. So something like that. And then this is Gara down here, which we've already built roads in. So a connection down here to connect into our main road network seems okay. And then a connection up like that. It's a kind of weird and awkward area, but a connection down this way, and then we'd want to come back over this direction eventually, I think. Hang on, where was it that I wanted to do that? Yeah, it was up here. We need to come this direction. Okay, so we'd come up over to here, and then we'd build out like this. A connection here would make sense, and then like that. Probably a connection here as well, and then a connection out over here. Okay, and then back down over this way. I don't think we need anything additional out over here necessarily. We've already built roads over this way. So what I'd like to see is us coming back down over here. I'm just thinking about this road connection out over here. This is already roaded down this direction. So perhaps a simple connection like that. It's a little bit awkward. But something along the lines of that should give us what we need in this area, approximately. Keep in mind, this lags a bit behind, so that'll be fine for the moment. Now, these guys are all making their way up over this direction. It's going to take them some time to get there, and I'd like these to come in somewhere around here. There we go. These guys can come up over to here. These would be looking to be somewhere around this direction. I'm looking at attrition numbers. Looking for a location where they can sit and take 0 attrition. I think we already moved someone there, didn't we? Yes. Okay. So let's move these guys down this direction a little bit then. 8.5, wow. Due to the plague epidemic. Okay. Well, let's maybe not go there. Let's come down over this direction. And then these guys, we can probably sit somewhere up over this direction. So 4.23, this would be 0. Okay, looks good. So we'll get them moving on up there. Now, we do have this civil war. This civil war is fake, probably. I just started up the game, and we need to... Okay, that actually got it to recalculate. That looks good. Now, food supply. So it's currently October. Caria Inferioris is a significant issue here. Where are you? Ah, this is due to the plague. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, that's going to be there for a little bit. So that's understood. There's not much we can do about that. So the plague is going to go away eventually. Other than that, I think most areas are going to be quasi-okay throughout the winter. We'll keep an eye on that. But we do need a new governor up in Cappadocia Pontica, and that will be this lad. Fantastic. So now I want to hop into the macro builder here and see what we've got going on here. Yeah, I thought I remembered that we had a number of these yet to do. So we've got our Judean, which is not having a B in it. That's down over here, okay? Yeah, I don't care about any of this right now. This is fine. There's a lot of these. Okay. So this is right here. Cool. So this is stone. We don't need this academy. We need a foundry, we need mills, we need slave traders, and we need taverns, and that will do the trick. Excellent. So next up would be Dara. And Dara is where exactly? The answer is right out over here. Okay, so that looks good. I would like to put in a foundry. If the autosave would end. There we go. Foundry, mills, slave traders, and a tavern. Cool. And also, there's that risk of rebellion there. That's something we're going to need to take a close look at. Okay, I'm going to pause the game for the moment, and I want to go to Aker, which is out over here. Okay, so this is kind of all over the place. I do like a Grand Theater and Great Temple here. Those are good. Farmer's Market can probably stick around, and the Tavern's probably okay. Let's get rid of the Court of Law. The Forum can stay for now. And we'll make this into, as usual, a production city, like so. That looks good. Okay, so we do need a new governor in Lower Egypt. That will be this guy. So a big part of this rebellion that's brewing up here is this plague epidemic, right? This is local unrest plus 20 in all of these locations. This is a really, really, really bad modifier. It's going to last for about another 2.5 years. So that's going to be, what, 36 months? No, that would be 3 years. Let's just assume 36 months for the moment. That's like an outside assumption, like a worst-case scenario assumption, that that's going to last for 36 months. So taking a look at this, there are a number of provinces that fall within that 36-month window. One of them is Central Amana, so let's find that. That's Evia, Susiana. Okay, this is going to be obnoxious. Central Omana. Okay, so that is right out over here. So this does have the plague epidemic until 4 July. Okay, so these all have different timings on them. I'm going to assume for the moment that it's 36 months, and that will be fine for right now. So Central Amana will rebel currently in 9 months. We do not need to be on pop conversion here. Harsh treatment is the way to go. So this is now setting it back to 11 months. Okay, I'm thinking about firing this guy and replacing him with someone who is more skilled. There isn't someone who is more skilled. This guy's a scorned family member, though, so I'm going to put him in. It's unfortunate, but yeah, we'll do that. So Central Amana is about 12 months away. So then we've got Maeotia. This is not what I wanted. Okay, there we go. So this is out over here. This is probably also affected by the plague. This is not... This is what we need. Okay, right down here. So yeah, that's affected by the plague. I do want to switch this over to harsh treatment for the moment, plus 0.27. So that will push that back to 19 months. Okay. So we've got our Armada here. Let's put this on harsh treatment. That is barely going to be effective. I'm going to put this guy in here. He's going to be significantly more effective of a governor. And we're going to push that onto harsh treatment. That's still going to be dropping very significantly, to be clear. We're going to have rebellions here. I'm like 45% sure about that. I just want to push them back a little bit. So Evia is the next location at 26 months. So we can come in up over here. We know that this is that location. Okay, so we can put this on harsh treatment as well. That's going to back that off a little bit. Actually, it didn't really move it at all. Next up would be Sumer. So, I mean, that's Mesopotamian, but let's hop over to here. Okay, so Sumer is going to hop onto harsh treatment. That will delay this a little bit to 38 months. So that is a very, very good sign. Some of these are going to be a little slower. So Hyrcania is the next location, and that has a lot of pops. So Hyrcania is right out over here. This is a new location that we just took over. Converting it wouldn't be a bad thing. Minus 2.42. We're going to have to put this on harsh treatment. It's going to slow it down a little bit, but not as much as we'd like. That's for sure. We can see we're running net negative on our treasury right now. This is also due to the plague. So we need to chill. And, I mean, we've got lots of aggressive expansion. So chilling for right now is really not a concern. But we've got a lot of issues at the moment. And it basically has to do with the plague. The plague is 99% of our issues right now, and we just got to weather the storm. So a lot of these aren't going to be a problem, but some of them are. So, to that end, Central Amana would be the first one to rebel. I want to bring these guys at least somewhat close over here. I'm just thinking right now about where we could put them. Maybe in, like, Gera, but that has the plague epidemic as well. They would have to sit quite far away or take very high attrition. Those are the options. Okay, for the moment, let's leave them drilling, and let's just proceed and see how this goes. It's going to be real interesting. Okay, so we're going to drill these guys here. We're going to drill these guys here. I'm just making sure that they're not in locations affected by the plague. Okay, this is affected by the plague. So we definitely don't want to be there. The plague is going to spread somewhat, most likely. So it's going to spread inland. Let's move these guys up to here for now. This is, you know, probably going to bring the plague with them if this was reality, but okay, we just found ourselves in a war. We'll look at that in just a moment here. This is probably, yeah, this is a Gera revolt. Okay, let's actually take a look at that. So what do we got going on here? Where are they? That's quasi-convenient for us. Okay, we're going to force march down to here. It gives us a good reason to have troops nearby to this. Okay. This is a dangerous precedent. We'll lose a little stability, which is, you know, not great. We're going to want to have this AE drop. We're losing stability primarily due to the AE at this point. And, yeah, we're in a precarious situation right now. So let's continue to work on commercial ventures. Okay, yeah, that is definitely a good thing. Now, I want to make sure in administration that we have auto trading on for all new provinces. I don't remember if we did this last episode or not. I know we did it fairly recently, but I cannot recall if we did it last episode. I just want to make sure auto trading is on. It is. Okay, beautiful. So that looks good for now. So this is going to give us a little bit of Garen territory, which is absolutely fine. We know we're taking some attrition here. That's expected. We're taking attrition here. Plague epidemic. Okay. We should move these guys somewhere that doesn't have plague. Okay, we've got these guys. They are building road. They are expected to be taking attrition. Probably plague here now. Yes. Okay, so let's move these guys elsewhere. There's going to be plague in a lot of these areas. I'm wondering... we can head down here. I think the plague is probably gone from here now. No, it's not, actually. We just still don't take attrition here. That's wild. Okay. Well, let's just chill here for the moment. And the plague should start to clear off. Now, I don't think there's a map mode to be able to view the plague in this game. I wish there was. That would be... It's a very useful tool to be able to visualize the plague. but it's going to be spreading inland, and it's going to do an awful lot of damage to us. So that's understood. We're definitely going to gain some stability. 100% gaining stability there is the right call. Period. End of story. Okay, how are we doing on Central Amana? So that's going to be in 8 months, and that's going to be 120 pops. There's not much we can do about this. Central Amana is just going to rebel. Okay. We just entered into another war. This is a rebellion against Siracine. So that's these guys up over here. Noted. I'm going to have this force march up over to here. This is not surprising that this is happening. We're going to have to be putting out fires for a little while here. I say a little while. For quite a while. This is going to take some time. Okay, so we're going to be arriving down here very, very shortly. We'll stack wipe this 500 unit stack. There we go. And I'm going to unforce march as we arrive. Fantastic. So you can see we're going further negative financially, and this is because the plague is spreading. This is not at all surprising. I'm expecting that these guys up here are probably in plague territory now, but they're not currently taking attrition. So that looks good. We have the 3 units taking attrition that we would expect to be taking attrition at this time. So we're going to have Central Amana rebel very, very soon. Nothing we can do about that. We'll just have to crush them. It's not the end of the world. And you'll notice that I'm not spending money right now. There's a reason for that, and that reason is because we're financially negative. I want to be working off of this war chest. Who knows how much damage this plague is going to do to us? So that is absolutely going to be necessary. We have large amounts of starving. Food is a big problem in a lot of places right now, and there's not much we can do about it. We just gotta wait for the plague to pass. Things will recover, and we're going to have to put down a lot of rebellions. Keep in mind, the general concept of that is any given populace is 3 missed meals away from rebellion. And that's what we're experiencing right now. We haven't had one of our own yet, but we will very shortly. However, both of our major vassals have. And yeah, we can see this is getting worse, and we're going to have a lot of rebellion. And potentially some very large ones. So we'll keep an eye on that and see how this ends up going. This is probably going to be a very, very significant event for us. So we're going to need to eliminate these nice and quickly. We do not need these guys to be force marched at this time. And those sieges are progressing nicely. Okay, that's cleaned up. We just won this siege. Oh, we just finished up all of these constructions. That's actually going to help us with all those farming settlements, but production is going to be incredibly low. The core issue here is that the plague is basically eradicating our ability to do anything in the areas where it is. We just gotta wait for it to pass. Which it will be passing somewhat soon. If we check some of these areas that were infected early, for December 1921, that's about 2 years out. There's areas like this, 28 April 921, that's about 1.5 years out, but it's going to be painful. We're going to lose a lot of pops, and that's just the way it is. So that's absolutely fine. It's going to be painful, but we've got a big war chest. We've got lots and lots of manpower. I'm not too concerned about it. We're going to have a very large rebellion soon, though. I don't know how many of these are going to go with, but it may be a lot. We'll see. Okay, so this is all getting under control here. Once this auto caps, all of these should auto cap here, right? I think so. Yes, those all auto capped. So we're 99 here, we can sue for peace, and what I want here is I want them to become a client state of us. We're going to separate them from Siracine, but they're going to be our client state. So there we go, we'll do that for right now. They will remain independent. We could not annex them ourselves because they were too distant, but we can absolutely do it this way. So that'll be perfect. So now I want to look at Siracine here, and what's their opinion of us? Plus 200? Okay, I would like to start integrating them, which is going to last a long time, but that's fine. So at this point, what I want to do is I want to finish this siege. That's mission number 1. Mission number 2 is we're going to have to deal with this rebellion. We are about to have one. I was really hoping that that siege would end there. Sadly, it did not. That was an unfortunate roll. We were at 78%. 85 this time. Almost certainly it's going to happen. Okay, so Omana is leading a war of independence against us. We were expecting this. The question is, how much goes with them? That's not so bad. Okay, I'm going to force march these guys over to here. And then these guys, they're going to head over to here as soon as they're done with this siege. This is going to be annexed by us, which will be fine. But this plague is definitely causing substantial issues. That's to be expected. Particularly in this time period, there was very little that could be done about this. Okay, so we're going to force march out over to Omana, and that'll be fine. Wonderful. So it's March of 1920? No, it's March of 920 at this point. And we know that it's going to be about a year before the plague starts to really clear out. So we're going to sue for peace here. We're going to take this. That'll be 5 aggressive expansion to us. Understood. And we'll lose 10% of that. Seems fine. We can call down an omen, and... do we want to call down someone other than Esther in this situation? I was thinking about Shalomo with the monthly stability change. I don't think that's significant enough. I'm going to call down on Esther. I mean, the unintegrated culture group happiness will still be very beneficial for us in this situation. So I think this is absolutely fine as it is. Okay, I want these guys to make their way over to somewhere over here. I mean, this is all plagued, but... eventually, we're going to have to sit somewhere. The Siege of Omana is already over. So they capped over here. We're going to walk over and deal with them. We're force marched, so we should catch them relatively soon, although we lost visual on them. Oh, they're still right here. Okay. Well, they're stack wiped. Let's get this capped, and we're going to probably chase down this force. Have we arrived up here yet? It's close. We're going to have more of these, and we need a Scorn family member here. This guy will do. We're going to have more of these rebellions soon, so that is understood. We've got a lot of issues going on right now. Not much we can do about it other than just wait for the plague to pass. But soon it will. For most of our plague locations, at least our initial plague locations, we are currently in a situation where it will be gone soon. But it is still spreading, and I don't know how far it's going to spread. I really wish there was a way to visualize it, but we can see it's already into here. Yeah, it's very inland at this point. The plague is probably about everywhere it's going to get to. Does it exist, like, down here? Yeah, so it's probably about everywhere it's going to get to. This is probably at its apex at this point. And we can see this is going to stop in 20 October 821, or 921 rather. It's not spread down here necessarily. It seems to be spreading possibly along waterways. So there's that. I wonder if it exists like in the desert inland here. Yeah, it does. Okay, so it's spreading along trade routes then. Understood. So that's fine. That means it's probably pretty close to maximal right now, and we're going to start seeing it go away within the next year, and that will be wonderful. Absolutely hunt them down. I want the political influence at this time because I want to do a divine sacrifice. There we go. Okay, so these guys are currently force marched. How much attrition are they taking here? Quite a bit. Okay, let's move them back up over this way. I mean, we're going to have the plague epidemic, though. Honestly, we're better off down here. Awkwardly enough. So this rebellion is over. We're going to take this territory back. It's not going to give us any aggressive expansion. And we're going to take that. There we go. And we're going to lose half a point of AE. Perfect. And these guys, they're going to make their way up over here-ish. I mean, it's going to be rough, no matter where we put them. Also, our manpower is way lower than it was before, I think. And that is because our caps are just absolutely wrecked by this plague right now. Like, look at that. It's absurd. Very, very significant issues from the plague. Oh, look at that. 6 free stability. Well, not free, but it costs a little gold. We'll definitely take that. Okay, these guys can drill, and these guys can drill for the moment. These out over here, they are taking attrition in this area, but I'm just going to have them drill. That'll be fine. So it is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. We are in the absolute apex of this plague right now, and it will start to pass fairly soon. If we look at some of these areas here, is Antonina location? No. Okay. So I'm not sure where the origination of this was other than in Rome. It was called the Roman Plague. We can look in here and we can see that's later, though. So I'm not sure exactly where this came from. I think it originated in Rome proper, probably. This is by far the earliest date I've seen. That will be passed in a couple of months. So we're definitely going to start to see this passing over the next episode, and that will be great. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Andy McGard, Dark Horse, Xenocyte, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, The Lounge STL, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.